Hello, and you join us for our review of the latest episode of Doctor Who, The Witchfinders, which is episode 8 of the current series we're on, which I think is 11 of New Who. We're starting off with my thoughts on it first this week. And broadly speaking, I quite enjoyed this episode, actually. It felt a bit more like a classic sort of when Doctor Who does history, i.e. we dip into a period of history. We meet a historical character who is known-ish, as in people would recognise the name in the history book, but the personality of the figure is far enough back that we don't know much about them, and we get to have all sorts of fun and mayhem with them in terms of dealing with monsters and aliens and all sorts of things. The episode still seemed to me to have that strong, slightly moralising thing that a lot of the series has had. Again, not that I'm disagreeing with the message it's preaching, but, you know, it is preaching a little bit strong again. It is very close to the surface, which it's in keeping with a lot of the stuff this thing, sort of overcoming adversity. And for the most part, it wasn't too preachy with it, really. And compared with some of the other episodes when we've had a very strong message of overcoming adversity, how to deal with sort of the stigma. Ironically, it's the whole thing about witch hunting and witch finding and things like that. We are literally going back to the comments of, you want to call this a witch hunt? This is actually a witch hunt. It wrapped up very quickly, even for an episode of Doctor Who, though, for me.
Yeah, that was correct. Okay.
Yeah, because
to be fair, when the monsters showed up, I was like, oh yeah, that came out of nowhere. And
yeah,
I was like, there are monsters in this now. Okay.
The whole explanation that we had of what these things were and how to deal with them and everything, it was at that exact moment, as misfortune would have it, I was getting my tea out of the oven. So for the 2 minutes I was away and sort of half listening, I missed pretty much everything, the explanation of what these creatures were and how to beat them. Aside from the fact that they're imprisoned under Pendle Hill, and the tree that Becca cut down was the lock on their cage.
Seems like a stupid design for a lock.
Possibly, but at the same time, I imagine when they were put down there, the idea of something coming along and cutting down the tree didn't exist at that point. Have you noticed, though, it's a strange thing that Earth always seems to be either something's gravely important with Earth in Doctor Who. It has to be, of course, because it's where we live and where the thing's always going to be set.
It makes the budget cheaper as well.
Yeah, it's always a case of Earth is incredibly important, has a very valuable resource here that aliens want, or...
Cheap set budgets. That's what they want.
Or it's somewhere no one's ever heard of, and it's usually a prison of some kind.
Mm-hmm.
It's either incredibly important or so unimportant that we make it a prison because it's like exile. Broadly speaking, though, I liked the episode. I quite liked a lot of their character, of Alan Cumming's characterisation of James.
Was the best in this.
He was great.
Amazing.
I liked the character because we talk a bit about James very briefly, at my work. We talk more about his mum, to be fair, about Mary Queen of Scots. But it was nice to have that in, sort of reference the idea of he had an interesting, unique, and quite harrowing in many ways upbringing. So to get the reference on that, so the bits of the history did bleed through again. It wasn't just much. It's James the 6th and 1st, if we're going with the correct naming.
Which one's the correct one?
They're both correct. He is James the 6th and 1st, and I'm not just saying that because my Scottish girlfriend is staring at me and threatening to kill me.
Oh, that's fine. She is Scottish. And,
Yeah, she can't hear you when you say that.
That is his correct title.
I know that's his correct title. I've just said
just
that.
Heard her then. And that was a tone of voice of, don't say anything stupid. I'm right here.
Yep, it
that
really
very
is.
matter-of-fact way.
I can feel daggers in the back of my neck.
Cool
so what did you think of it? So broadly speaking, I liked the episode. I didn't have... Again, it is in keeping with some of the problems we've had with this series in terms of moralisation of things. But it felt a bit more like an old school sort of Doctor Who for me.
It's a really rapid ending.
Yeah, it wrapped up far too quickly for me.
The monsters show up in like 10 minutes of the episode. They don't even had that of the episode left.
Yeah.
Okay. good.
What did you think of it?
I also broadly liked it. Alan Cumming was great. He should honestly be the next Doctor, and do that exact characterization.
There was talk of him. It wasn't one of the
great.
names that's been speculated a couple of times. To be fair, you know how we were worried about he was going to be underused, like with Art
He
Man?
wasn't, which I'm good.
He really wasn't,
Best
and I'm
thing in
so
his
glad he wasn't underused.
He was the best thing in this episode. He even managed to outshine Bradley Walsh, who, let's be honest, has kind of been holding this series together.
Yeah, he really is. Graham is just great.
Yeah.
Again, that's interesting because again we had character with Graham, character with Ryan, particularly his relationship with James, which is quite fun. And then there was Yaz,
who just does things.
Again, who did absolutely nothing.
Keeps happening. I have a theory that she may have been added to the cast late. Like, written in late. Because you have ever noticed, whenever they split up, it's always Graham and Ryan, and Yaz goes off somewhere else.
Yeah.
Every single time. So I have the feeling they added the character late. Which also might explain the lack of writing around the character.
Maybe.
Not sure.
But then, of course, we do have the entirety of Demons of the Punjab.
Which, to be fair, didn't do much for her either.
No, it did absolutely
You could take her out and just have... They went back to the partition of India. Change a few lines here and there to remove the family
would work.
connection. You have it. That was the episode I was expecting. Something. Okay, this is going to be Yaz's episode. She's going to have some character. I'm going to finally like her.
And to be fair, her family had great character.
Her Gran's awesome. I like her Gran.
Awesome.
Not
the companion we're spending weeks with.
Why isn't the Gran the companion? I've forgotten her name, but Gran. She was great. Sorry, I've just found Twitter. Well, that's funny. The picture of Windy Miller. Because of Bradley Walsh's hat.
Right, yes.
Windy Miller. Although it actually looks like the Doctor with the hat and the Windy. If you've ever seen Windy Miller.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's me on Twitter. Yeah, I like the episode. It was alright. Finally got something scary-ish.
Yeah.
With the... I forgot what they're called. The Mud People.
Yes, their name has just fled my mind as well.
It happened in the last 10 minutes. Yeah, something like that. I was expecting it to wrap up, and I was like, oh, monster, okay. That came out of nowhere. I mean, we had the tentacles in the mud, which when I saw, I was like, this better not go Evil Dead, because that's what it's reminding me of right now. But yeah, it was kind of creepy-ish.
But it wrapped up too quickly.
Yeah, it was just like boom.
Everything happened far too quickly for you to be able to process any of it.
And we're gone, bye. And like, okay, right. What just happened in the last 10 minutes? Because, I don't know, Doctor gets dunked. Then it just kind of... Did someone else take over the writing?
I think it was more a case of, okay, I've written this really good episode, and they're looking at it and says, it's brilliant. And the person then says, you do know we're not doing two-parters anymore, right?
Yeah, it does feel like...
Damn!
I'm sure it was enough for a two-parter.
Because it felt like they could have actually...
It feels like they just overwrote however long this episode was. I don't know how long it was.
50 minutes.
I thought it was longer than 50, and they went, you can't go any longer than that.
Yeah.
Like, shit, I have to take out something. Which might have been Yaz's scene they took out. When she does something. But yeah, it was alright. It was a bit on the preachy side at points, but it was down to a minimum. It was down to a minimum. I will give them that. But yeah, more Alan Cumming. Get him in more. Dr. Good
That'd be fun. They've done it before, of course. I mean,
Yeah.
Peter Capaldi and
Colin Baker was in it.
Colin Baker.
So yeah, okay, get him in. He's great. I'll have King James as a companion. That might ruin the history of it.
That would be really interesting. I'd love
that. Time
that.
machine.
Haven't they? Didn't they do one with the audiobooks with Peter?
Possibly.
Paul McGann's one. He had like Mary Shelley.
Yeah, you can get historical figures as companions.
Yeah.
Dump them back where they should belong. No one will miss them. Time machine. It's how it works.
Well, he was gonna with David Tennant. He was gonna take Madame de Pompadour with him, wasn't he?
But yeah,
That was a good episode.
That was a good episode. Again, Stephen Moffat can write good episodes. He just can't write a good series.
No, it's the difference when you're rewriting.
Blink was
On the
great.
matter of that, though, I have seen some interesting rumours related to the future of Doctor Who.
Is this the same rules I've been seeing? Although I did find my favourite comment on YouTube this week, and it was basically someone was criticising one of the episodes, and someone just went, "Yeah, but to be fair, Amy Pond was a better policewoman than Yaz." I was like, ouch. But true, she hasn't really done anything. Her being a police officer doesn't seem to wrap it.
It's not really come up.
Needs to, but you think at least once, either on Earth or somewhere else, she didn't, she's a police officer. Okay, she's a young police officer, but she's still a police officer.
Yeah. So the rumours I've seen, because obviously I don't know what you've seen.
You don't want to see my internet search history.
No. So the rumours I've seen are apparently the next series might be the last one with Chris Chibnall and Jodie Whittaker.
Yes, that is the same rumour I've seen.
That's the rumour I've seen. I've also seen apparently it's due to be out next autumn. There is some speculation that we're not going to get a full series.
I saw 2020. They said somewhere that the New Year special, the Doctor Who holiday special, will be the only Doctor Who you'll get in 2019, and then 2020 you'll get another series.
BBC have commented saying we are committed to one next autumn,
Okay,
but the rumour I've seen about it is they might split it half and half, so we get half in the autumn and then half in the next year. Because apparently Chibnall was reluctant to take on the new lead writing one, and his success with Broadchurch sort of made him more open to it.
I just thought open you up to that fan base in general.
So
idiots on the internet will criticise you.
So apparently the speculation is that, and there's also rumour that as a result, Jodie Whittaker would leave with Chris as well.
Okay.
Apparently, I don't know if this is related to the next, as in series 12, or beyond that, but apparently Bradley Walsh and Mandip Gill, so Graham and Yaz, apparently might not be in the next series.
Oh, not Bradley Walsh.
And but at the moment, Tosin Cole, who's Ryan, there's no word on him yet.
I'm thinking now that we are rapidly approaching the end of the series, are the companions going to stay on?
Yeah.
And if we get another series with a new Doctor and...
Well, that's the whole thing, we've no idea.
I do think they should trim the companions slightly, because 3 is too many.
3 is a bit too many.
And I would say get rid of Yaz. Sorry, Yaz, but you are the weak link in this very weak chain, to be fair.
I thought you were going full on Ian Robinson there.
No, I can't transmat someone away.
That was a good one as well.
That was a stupid episode, but that was great. Ian Robinson.
I like that, the android.
Yes, the android, and it took on a Dalek at one point. Although they wouldn't do anything, it would just transmat it back to a Dalek ship. Because it doesn't actually kill them. Anyway, off good episode, well, passable episodes. I am starting to miss Russell T Davies, though, I will say that.
He knew how to put together...
I thought if next series, I might even start missing Stephen Moffat, and that's going to be amazing.
Are we eventually going to reach the point where we're going, I miss Chris Chibnall?
Yeah. I think that's ever going to happen. At least not the way it's going. But we'll see.
He did good episodes, that's the whole thing.
But Stephen Moffat did great episodes before he became lead writer. The Empty Child ones, Blink, Girl in the Fireplace, you like that kind of thing.
It's a good story.
I like the Clockwork Android, so cool.
I love them, Space Age Clockwork.
Yeah, and the outfits is great.
I still remember some of my favourite lines for that one is like, multigrade anti-oil, if it moves, it doesn't.
Headlines when Dave Tennant has to go with the horse falling in.
Yeah. Says, what are you doing with the horse? He says, not letting you keep the horse. I let you keep Mickey.
Yeah, that's good. Poor Mickey, he got so much. Flying his way. But yeah, we will see. It will be short-lived.
Yeah, because we're only 2 weeks away, actually, from the series finale.
Yeah, that's why I'm doing my number. Oh shit, it's episode 8. Jesus, since I 10 in the series.
Yeah. Interestingly, for anyone who's listening in, our review of the finale is going to be going up a day late.
Because someone is busy, I assume, or working, I don't know.
Yes, I have a work commitment that night, so I can't make it. So I won't be able to make the recording.
It depends if I want to rewatch it.
Well, I'll be able to do it.
Monday.
Ideally, should be able to do it the next morning.
Or might want to forget it.
Possibly, yeah, we'll see about that.
If I want to rewatch it, go just refresh my memory what actually happened.
I know we've got Mark Addy in it. Next, should we talk about next week's?
Yes, I didn't see I'm making tea usually when it's quite wrong.
So I watched the trailer for next week. Again, it's as it seems to be tradition with all the teasers. It's giving you virtually
nothing.
That's
how teasers should be done. Hollywood needs to learn that lesson with its trailers.
And it looks frightening.
Good. We need more frightening.
Because it is the traditional sort of cabin in the woods, isolated. Something's there, and it's sort of. I think it was a moth at one point.
It takes you away. It's called.
It's the sort of the creepy sort of isolation, spidery something there.
God, don't mention spiders.
We've already had spiders this series.
And they weren't good.
No, they were not good.
Good, we need more. It's taken a while to get going, Chris. Although he stopped writing, so that's probably why it's got...
Yeah, he's not been doing any of the writing on these last few ones.
Demons of the Punjab was alright. Kablam was alright. This one was slightly better than alright, mainly because of Alan Cumming. He just made this episode entertaining to watch.
Yeah.
Because he's great.
So much fun.
I hope next week continues. Hey, which raises the question: the series finale be good? Because Chris Chibnall, I always want to call him Chimbles. And I'm not the only one who said that. Whenever they see his name, because it's Chibnall, but if you just glance at it, it looks like Chimble. But yeah, he's writing the finale with the Battle of wherever.
Yes.
So we'll see what he does. Whether he'll end on a high or completely crash and burn. We'll see.
And then we've got the
New Year's holiday special, the Life Day special,
which, as tradition should dictate, we will not be reviewing.
So I despise New Year's Day.
I think I'm probably going to be working.
Well, I don't do Christmas Day because I'm very drunk and don't remember the Christmas specials much in Doctor Who.
And I'm always back
And
home.
have you heard Chris Chibnall's excuse if he ran out of ideas?
Yes,
I'm like,
I have heard.
You have a machine that can go anywhere in time and space.
That is what a crock of rubbish.
Like, you have a machine.
What's the reason we're not doing a Christmas special this year? We've run out of ideas.
Run out of ideas.
You are a writer.
No, it's
You're
not
the
even
head
that.
writer.
It's not even that. You have a machine that can go anywhere in time and space. How do you run out of ideas?
You are literally doing the show that has no limits to it, apart from what the budget constrains.
Which, to be honest, Doctor Who has not a good reputation with budgets. But
no, but even then, come on.
Man, get some. If you've been doing this like 3 or 4 years, I would understand because you get fed up with it after a while. But it's your first year doing it. How can you not have an idea?
There's always ideas for Christmas.
Idiot.
Well, even then, you do what Moffat did with A Christmas Carol. You just retell A Christmas Carol via Doctor Who.
That's what we've done so many times and other things.
I know it's been done loads of times as well, but you know.
Can we find different Christmas stories to do a retelling of?
Yes.
And not the nativity. That'd be amazing, actually. Nativity with Daleks.
The thing is, the nativity didn't really happen at Christmas.
I know, but has Doctor Who ever been accurate to history, religion, or science?
Well, it's got the dates right for things usually.
Yeah.
Vaguely
right. But come on, Jesus Christ versus Daleks. Pay to see that.
Jesus Christ versus Daleks.
See, I came up with that in a minute. I came up with that.
Machine is interested in this idea.
See? Well, we got someone behind. It can be amazing. Jesus Christ versus Jesus Christ and his disciples. You make him older.
Oh, yes.
Faces of
Jesus
Daleks.
Christ and disciples versus the Daleks.
The Doctor just go scratching his or her head, going, I don't know what's going on anymore. I know.
Well, Sean, you know how apparently we were just discussing that Chris Chibnall might be out before the end of next year? We've got an idea to pitch to the BBC for the Christmas special.
And the moment when you say Jesus Christ, they'll go, no. Because that is opened up a can of worms. Make some angry letters for some Christians.
I mean, come on. Well, it depends on how he's portrayed.
Well, yeah, he's the pacifist. No one punching a Dalek. Like, oh, he's insane to watch. You can't really peace and love a Dalek. That doesn't really work. No.
You have just reminded me of an advert. I can't remember what it was for. I think it was a banking advert years ago that had Daleks as
Bank cashiers.
No, as Harry. Yeah, they were like Hare Krishna Buddhist, the one that goes peace and love.
You can't really peace and love a Dalek.
I think it was a Spike Milligan sketch as well with the Pakistani Daleks.
Yeah, that's like that. Oh dear.
We full on deviated there.
I do. It's still tangentially related back to the, So yeah, Chris Chibnall, get some ideas. Smoke some weed, whatever you need to get some ideas. And let's be honest, a lot of Doctor Who episodes have been written while someone's high.
Or just take a break for a little bit.
That might be why you might only get half a season next year. But you don't even need a break. It's his first year doing it. Okay, he's been doing Broadchurch, but it's like, and if you've been doing this for 3 or 4 years, you do run out of steam and need a break. And you're dealing with a fan base probably makes you want to despise humanity immediately.
Well, even then, it's like, I mean, he's written over half the episodes for this series.
Just Moffat right, not many.
Take on a more managerial position. Do less hands-on stuff. Let other people come up with ideas.
Because as we've seen, could someone else write the Christmas special? Does he have to write it?
Usually, it's the head writer. I mean, I don't think it's a rule. I just think it's generally what they usually do. But when it comes to just writing it, as we've seen, some of the better episodes of this series have been the ones...
All 2 of them.
Yes.
Well, 3
now, isn't it? Yeah.
Well, it's more.
Some of the better episodes that have aired this series he has not written or co-written.
No.
So I would say, so my advice would be, take a step back. You've written over half the episodes of this series, and some of them have been a bit lackluster. Take a step back, let other people do it. You can still manage whatever it is. Maybe that's how you work. I don't know how Chris works. Maybe that he is someone who...
Was he the only writer on Broadchurch? I never watched it.
I think it's only written by him. Give me a minute.
I never actually
We'll
watched
check.
Broadchurch. My mum watched Broadchurch, that's her opinion.
Yeah, my mum did.
I just don't watch TV. To be brutally honest. And it's this Red Dwarf it's on.
It was created by him. He was executive producer, and it was written by Chris Chibnall and Louise Fox.
Okay, that's right with him.
Yeah. I think he is a bit sort of
Hands-on.
very much
that's hard to do
hands-on.
when you've got the whole series to write. I don't know
Yeah.
how long BBC gives him. I doubt very long. TV shows often don't get long to write seasons.
And even then, I'm just looking at the series overview for it. Every writer and director, they were all new. We've got no returning sort of writer or directors for this series either.
Yeah, it's weird. New composer.
New composer. I think it's new producer as well, isn't it?
But, you know,
I still find it weird that they're putting the producer in the opening
that
credits.
is weird. Like
I'm sure they didn't used to do
no,
that.
yeah, there'd just be cast, episode title, and who wrote it.
Yeah.
Usually, and why is the producer? They got an ego slight, you know. That ego slight as well. Or is it just telling you who's responsible for this travesty of an episode you're about to see? Maybe it's that.
Maybe.
I don't know. Maybe
I've seen a few people complaining about they need to get a new producer.
maybe the guy doing the credits like realised the episode's crap and puts it at the front just to blame this person, wherever they are. I don't know. I only half listened to the credits. Do you want to talk about the music? New composer? No more Murray Gold?
I miss Murray Gold.
He's been doing it for like since the beginning. Well, beginning of the
Yeah, he's been
series.
doing it since New Who.
I don't
But
mind the music.
I will admit, I haven't had any particular scores
No.
or music coming through that
The
makes
only
me, this is
music I
really
can remember is
good.
Matt Smith's theme whenever I think of Doctor Who.
I don't
That's
actually know if
really-
we've had the
Does Doctor have a
13th Doctor's theme.
Does Doctor have a character yet? Does she? Other than just talking nonsense, which I know is part of it, but you know, I'm starting to
We're
think Joe
getting
Whittaker can't play eccentric.
I just think it's the writing, because she is a brilliant actress.
I'm sure, but
as
some people
well.
can be great actors and just not do a specific thing, and eccentric is hard to do well. I mean, Tom
Yeah.
Baker was really not acting when he played the Doctor. He's that eccentric in real life, which is probably why it was so weird and natural, because he was literally playing himself. Slightly
Yeah.
exaggerated. But, you know, it's just like, you know, the writing probably doesn't help. You know, you can play a non... That's why I wanted Capaldi to be a more William Hartnell or John Pertwee, less eccentric and more likely to club a cave over the head with a stone.
And to be fair, he was that.
He was, you beginning, it kind of lost it towards the end, but that's the writing of the latest series of Capaldi, who I'm pretty sure got thrown off the series, Colin Baker style.
No, I don't think. I think because he did it for what 3-4 years.
Yeah, but you know, it was all very
I think
sudden.
he'd reached.
I am just speculating.
Yeah.
I just want a different Doctor when they all start to blend in. I mean, that's what Chris Eccleston was great as. He could do funny and alien and weird, and not be a completely insufferable idiot, which even Tennant got towards the end. Just insufferable twat.
You either die a hero or live long enough to see yourself
You
become a
know,
villain.
yeah, it's that. It's you need to tone it down. There is a point where eccentric becomes infuriating.
What's the update?
Oh, Ukraine and Russia. Anyway, so all I saw was Ukraine and Russia when I'm not reading that.
And this, ladies and gentlemen, will be our last ever broadcast from those
Coming
two
soon
gentlemen.
next week from Fallout. Although that was the Chinese though. But anyway, back onto the subject of Chris Eccleston. Yeah, even Tennant started off alright. Okay, and got annoyed. Matt Smith, the writing took a massive dump halfway through Matt Smith's era. But yeah, I still think the 11th Hour is the best first Doctor episode, at least of the new series.
Yeah.
You know, it was a great episode. I liked, you know, you got Matt Smith, his character. You know, he didn't have a post office. You know, his character. I mean, I still do think this new Doctor doesn't really have a character yet, outside of the Doctor. That
I'm still struggling a bit.
What makes 13? They all have.
Yeah.
They're all the same person, but each one, you know, William Hartnell was really cranky. Patrick Troughton was, I think, idiot, but he was a bit manipulative.
Sort of the clown.
He was also manipulative, especially with the later series. he would act the clown, but plus Sylvester McCoy was doing it. But yeah, he was a bit of a clown. John Pertwee was John Pertwee, Venusian judo, whatever it was. Tom Baker was. They all do something. Even Colin Baker. Other than trying to strangle Perry. In 13 doesn't have one yet, and it's taken a while to get there. And you should ask Chris Chibnall and see if he knows. Because I don't think he does. But yeah, that's my general problems with the writing took a nose. Yes, if I start missing Stephen Moffat, we've truly hit rock bottom of
Watch this space, folks.
for me, if I actually start missing. But Stephen Moffat as showrunner, as one-off writer, he's fine.
Really good.
Yeah, Blink was great. Then Child and the second part of it, which I forgot what it's called.
The Doctor Dancers.
That one was great.
All great.
Girl, the Fireplace was great.
Silence in the Library.
That was a cool idea. With the shadows that I can't say the name of.
The Vashta
Yeah,
Narada.
but it did introduce River Song, and
The Shadows with Teeth.
it did introduce River Song, and that's entirely different.
Now, if that had been the entirety of River Song...
It would have worked. I don't mind hearing that. It's the Clara problem. They become too important, and it gets ridiculous.
Yeah.
It becomes the River Song. Why don't we do a spin-off of River Song? If you want a female Time Lord, she's not a Time Lord, but her and her adventures. Captain Jack got his own thing. I won't mention Torchwood, but he got it. Sarah Jane got her own spin-off series.
Yeah.
Why not give River Song one? Doing her wacky adventures she gets up to. It's a lack of creativity, I think, at the BBC. I don't know. I watch the other BBC show to know if they're running out of creativity. But
They're usually quite good for that.
Well, I would say creativity is running out pretty much everywhere these days. Looking at you, Hollywood's never had any creativity. But that's me going on a rant separate to Doctor Who.
Yes, we'll do that another time.
Overall, okay episode. More Alan Cumming.
Definitely more Alan Cumming. Are you sniggering away?
Yeah, it was brilliant. I'm like, finally someone I like. It's been a while.
Do you know who he reminds me a bit of?
Who?
Do you remember when Ben Miller appeared in Robots of Sherwood?
Yes, he was the best bit in the episode as well. That was a crap episode.
It was an awful episode, but
But
he was good.
Yeah, it's like
He was the only good part.
yeah,
of that
I'm pretty sure he
episode.
was the only guy I might mind. I don't know. I forgot her name. Did Becca?
What? The lady in this
the
one?
lady. Yeah, the one who was dunking people.
Well, suitably, she was Becca Savage.
Yeah, that's a great name. That's like a Bond villain name or a Bond girl name. She was.
Well, they
alright.
always. That's the whole thing. I mean, we're talking about the time when it's sort of when people tend to have names. It's like Lady Savage, and of course the grandmother is Old Mother Twiston.
Yes.
Which just sound like
Willow.
the name
Was
of,
her name
would give
Willow
the
or
name of a
Willow?
witch. Willa.
Willow. I thought it was like when there was just her accent, the word Willow being pronounced weird. Well, she was. Becca was all right as a horrible person, but it's just when the people I like aren't our main characters. It's not a good sign.
Yeah.
Buddy Walsh was funny with his hat, his Windy Miller hat. Oh dear. Bradley Walsh should have been a new Doctor. And I'm saying that, and that means...
Yeah, I was going to say, you're saying that. Wow.
Well, he's the only character... So I find Bradley Walsh irritating, but he's... I say he's the only one acting, but... He seems to be enjoying himself. The others just don't seem to be... Well, another thing, we started off with them already there. That was weird. At the beginning of the episode. They were just there. No establishing they arrived here. They were just...
Well, they established that they would...
It felt weird to me. Like, it's like, miss something. Because we're already here.
The TARDIS had taken them to the wrong place.
Well, it always does that.
They'd established that they wanted to go to the coronation of Queen Elizabeth I.
Missed that by a bit.
By a fair bit, yes. They'd missed by her entire life.
And, but, bro, it's just like, it felt weird to not begin, at least with them arriving in a TARDIS. Actually, another thing I want to complain about in being long, right? Haven't seen much of the TARDIS this series.
No.
It's been... I don't really like the design of it, but... You haven't seen much of it?
Have you noticed that the crystals... I know they're on hinges anyway, but have you noticed that when the central pillar goes up and down, those bits move as well?
Yes.
I don't like that.
God damn it, it's different. No.
Well, not just that. It's weird. It's like I can't even think of a comparison for it really.
But it's just like we haven't seen much. Since the TARDIS is literally the icon of the entire show, you think we'd see it more, and you haven't really.
No.
It's just kind of not been there. Damn it, Chris. We need more episodes with more of the TARDIS. We see more of just the control room of the TARDIS.
Yeah.
Like you used to in the old days, it was like miles of rooms. What was that one with, where Amy and Rory get trapped in the TARDIS?
Oh, that was the one where Michael Sheen was there as
playing.
House.
Yes, House. Should have been Hugh Laurie.
It was the Doctor's wife.
Yeah, should have been Hugh Laurie. Really giving them shit, but that was great seeing like the old. You don't see much of the TARDIS these days.
Well, you had it as well with another Matt Smith episode, Journey to the Centre of the
Yes.
TARDIS.
See, I miss the days that we saw more of the TARDIS. 'Cause it's meant to go on, in theory, forever, but you never see it. It's just the control room, and even that in this series you haven't seen that much. It's just they seem to be avoiding it a lot. And budget. That's the TARDIS demands higher pay.
The TARDIS has really good representation.
Yeah, bloody good agent. Better than everyone else's by the sounds of it. But it's... Yeah. There's a lot of little things that annoy me that are slowly building
They add up.
eventually, and you're like, come on, Chris, we expect better of you. We expect better. I don't know, I never really heard him until now, to be brutally honest. Didn't even know he'd written some old Doctor Who episodes. So, and I didn't watch Broadchurch, so quite why he was. So yeah, I think we're done.
Yep, I think we're done there. So join us next week for our review of
It Takes You Away.
It Takes You Away.
I'll wait for a week after that for you to pronounce the last episode.
Ah, yes. The Battle of Ramskur Avkolos.
Sounds like a Klingon having a hernia.
Well, I'm doing first thoughts on that one that week,
Yes, you
so...
are. I'll enjoy that one.
So join us next week for It Takes You Away with Sean's thoughts.